Hello guys, welcome to ADB Tech channel. So today we are going to talk about log4j. So how to log our application, logger informations in the console, as well as how we can log our logging information in the database end as well. So if you see, like, we have a couple of appenders in the log4j. We go to log4j website. Okay, logging services, right? Here you can see multiple appenders. So you have file appender. Let me show you. You see that this is a Cassandra related. At you can see console appender. So you can add this console appender to trace or debug or error or informations. You see the log levels and all you can do. There are multiple ways to create this. Like you can use XML file or the properties. Okay. So today we're going to talk about like there is a file appender also, but we will talk about a DB appender, JDBC appender. Yeah, this is the one. So even you guys can go to this website and you can get the knowledge on this, how to implement this. But anyway, I will take the example as well today. And here you can see the the XML. So how we are going to store our logs in the database. Okay, this is a data source. Okay, this is a JDBC name and the table name which you are going to store the data. These are the columns of the table, particular table. Okay. So the same thing I can show it in the example as well. Okay. Let me go to my code. So first, what we need to do is this is a Spring Boot application. So you should add log4j dependency. Okay. And I'm using MySQL database, so I'm using MySQL connector. And there is one more dependency which is called Commons DBCP. This we are using to get the connection, database connections. Okay. From the XML to our class. Okay. And I'm using data JPA, and even I'm using web, starter web dependencies. To I have created some REST endpoints. So what we can do, we can execute those services, and we can see logging is happening or not in the database. Okay, so this is the first step we have to do. And if we go to our source code, here you can see in the application.properties, you can even provide like logging levels, right? Debug or trace or error, whatever you want to do. But instead of this, what I have added is log4j2.xml file. So this is the format. So in this configuration, right? So you can see that there is a console appender I have. So this is the pattern which it will print in the our console, normal console. Okay, and this is our database, appender. You see, I created this is the table which I created. All the queries I have added in the GitHub, so you guys can get it from the GitHub anyway. And this is my class where I have created this connection properties and yeah, see this connection factory. So in this connection factory, I have added username, password of our database, and my database connection stays. And I'm doing get database connection. So this method I'm invoking from the XML file. So you can see that. So I'll get the connection, and these are the columns which I created. Okay, ID and date, time, class info, and level, message, exception info. There are patterns. Okay, you can use that patterns. So this message and exception are lengthy, right? So I'm using as a clock. You can use even varchar, but it's the length would be more for exceptions and all. And this is the appenders. We have console and JDBC, DB appender. So both are I have added here. The logger I'm doing console appender. So I have given trace. You can even use the debug. So if you give trace means you can get all the information like debug, info, error, warning messages, everything. So even for DB appender, what I'm using is warning. So warning messages means you will get it warning, info, error messages, you will get it. okay, in the database. So we don't need no trace or debug information in the database side. Otherwise, your DB logs would be more, records would get increased, day by day. So now these is the configuration which we are using in this application, and this is the connection factory where we are getting our database connections. Okay, so in our if I go to Java package, so I have a REST controller. There is a movie REST controller I have. Yeah, so here you can see that there are a couple of REST endpoints I have created. One is insert movie. I'm just inserting some movie data, and here I have done some exception I'm logging. But let's see like how we can get the errors also. There is a place where okay, right now you can see right there is nothing here. I'm just logging the info messages, right? So let me start my server. Yeah. So I made it as a trace, right, in the for console appender, right? You can see the trace. So that's why we are getting everything, trace, debug, all the information we are getting here due to the trace. If you put debug, you will get only some information, so you won't get trace info. Okay, you want to try, you can try it out, not a problem. Let me show you that also. Change the level is debug for console. It is taking some time. Yeah, still we are seeing trace. Okay, I got it. So what we need to do is on top. Also, I made it as a trace, so I'll update with debug. Okay, now rerun this. Yeah, now you can see right. Only debug info we are only getting. We are not getting any trace here. Right. So you will get info and you will get even errors also. So let me clear this. Let me go to my API. Yeah, so here you can find out all the appenders, okay, the sample examples in this website. I can provide you these links in the description of this video. And let me go to my video. Okay, okay. So this is our REST API, right? Let me clear the data. Even in database also, it already added some logs. You might see here in the database in. Let me show you here. Right, you can see there are a couple of logs. Right, if you refresh, we have some information starting entertainment service app, right? So there is no exception set. So we will try that also. Okay. Let me go to the website and let's try to insert some movie data. Okay. Okay, this is some link. I just give sample one. Okay, and okay, name language is English. And the name is man. info, type in action. Okay, just no, this is a dummy data. So now if we execute this, so you can see, right, there are a couple of debug lines we are seeing, right? You can see insert is happening, right? So everything we are seeing in the console end, and you can see insert action call. This is the information. So the same thing we can see in the database also. Yeah, you can see, right? Date I have made it sorted. So now insert movie action card. Okay. So the data got saved in the database also. I can show you that data also. Yeah, let me go to movie. Yeah, you can see, right? The data got saved and man, correct. So now let's try for some error. Okay, error messages. So here what we can do, there is controller. So for get movies, let me try this. Okay, I'll add some try block. So I'll say like int I equal to some 10 divided by 0. So some arithmetic exception, right? Catch. And say exception. Whatever. So just say it's arithmetic error occurred. Okay. So now this is the error we are logging here, right? And now we can restart our application. Okay. So we go here as well. Okay. So now let's go and try for get movies. Okay. Yeah. Now we can see, consider it error occurred. Okay. There is also some error occurred. So we cannot divide by 0. So same thing we can see in the database as well. Let me refresh this table. Okay. Yeah. You can see, right? This is the error I got. Why exception info is not stored? Let me check. Same thing which I gave in the database. Okay, exception info true. So we are getting error. Any error message we are getting. You can see, right, arithmetic error we got. Okay, but exception message also has to be saved. Okay, that let me check. Okay, but this is how we can store, our logging application logs in the database end, like only related to info and debug and error messages. Don't do trace, because if you add trace, you will get a lot of logs in the database, and also like that will impact the database becomes slow. Okay, if you add more logs, but this is one option where we can have a logs for for at least some long time actually, like in our applications, and like if you are using any cloud, for example pivot cloud, it might be the logs would be available for 7 days. So after 7 days you won't get it. So in that scenario we can use this. This is one way of doing it, database logging, but we have other ways as well, like we can use elk stack and Jupyter to trace the logs. Okay, but if you have multiple services, but I can talk about that after this session. I will show you like how we can interact with the multiple microservices, and how to integrate Jupyter, and how we can use elk stack as well. So this is all I wanted to explain today. uh, Guys, let me know if you have any questions. Let me will reply in the comments as well. Okay, and I have already pushed this code in the GitHub. I'll share those URL with you. You guys can clone the code and use it. Thank you guys, thank you for watching. Bye.